De Atlanta em estado de Georgia, nos Estados Unidos.
Ooh, have I mentioned I'm afraid of heights? Because I am. Whoo! Whoo!
That's so awesome.
It's the end of day 8 for me, I believe. Yesterday was day 7, maybe. Today wasn't a crazy day. We got to go to another favela that's actually pacified. And they, it's cool because there's an elevator going to the top, and there's also a school that used to be, they built it out to be a hotel, but they never finished it, and they ended up turning it into a couple different, like, offices for different organizations, but for the most part, they have, like, a school in it, and it's really cool. It's just, I mean, it's beautiful, too. I got some wonderful pictures, and I actually got to, like, other than Josenia, it was harder for me to take pictures there. So, it was actually cool to be able to take the pictures while I was there. Anyway, after that we came back, and turns out there was a protest here in Ipanema. And if anyone's seen anything on the news, the protests that were going down in downtown Rio had gotten pretty crazy. Like, people getting tear gassed and pepper sprayed and shot with rubber bullets. It was just, it got pretty nuts. One of the girls here that we know actually got pepper sprayed when she was downtown. And it was pretty crazy, but here it was more of a peaceful protest, and after everything chilled out, we actually, they closed all the stores, so we couldn't really do anything, but we went to Emporio again after everything calmed down, it seemed, and, you know, danced around. Had an Australian guy just would not back off. Apparently, the way I was dancing and everything, and he was all over all the other girls too. But at one point he came up to me and, you know, swatted at my stomach and said, you know, if you came to Australia, you do good. I'm like, okay, I guess. Something I've noticed here is all the other girls have guys get all up on them and are very touchy-feely and really, really are pushy with them. But with me, they become shy and they tell me that I'm very beautiful. But they won't, I don't know, intrude on my personal space, I guess. But it's not like they don't find me, you would think, no, well, I guess maybe they just don't find me attractive. But they're constantly telling me that I'm very beautiful and wanting to talk to me, but they will not push themselves up against me or anything like that, like they do with the other girls. So I guess in a way I'm thinking it might be my height and my build. I don't know. I think it's crazy, but you know what? I'm not complaining. I actually prefer it to be that way. So, that was my night. Went out to the beach with Zan and got a coconut and relaxed and just talked and watched the waves, and it's so beautiful here that being able to do something like that, it's so surreal that I'm actually here. But probably going to the beach tomorrow morning and relaxing going to the night market tomorrow. I will try to post something before I leave, because I don't know how late I'm going to be out. So I'll talk about my day, and I will talk to you guys later. I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful day where you are. I'm currently, because of the humidity here, I'm constantly covered in a sheen of sweat at all times. It's worse when you're actually in the rainforest, but when you're outside of it, it's still humid. But it's wonderful, so I'm not complaining. I'll talk to you guys later. It's very late and I'm tired. Bye. I just had my ass kicked by a wave. Actually knocked the wind out of me. And now salt water is pouring out of my sinuses. But I'm drinking a Brazilian Coke. Delicious. Everybody say hi. Oi. I don't think that's real.
Eu acho que somewhere in the world there's people whose New Year started, or whose new millennium started with me.
You look so classy. So classy. Apparently, these guys are picking people out from the crowd walking by and making fun of them. It's pretty awesome. Beer or anything. That is so creepy! Okay, so it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're all walking down the street. Sauji. Walking down the street, drinking beer, walking down the street on a Sunday.
Your class.
Class.
3 p.m.?
3 p.m. So I'm talking actually in one video, day 9 and 10, I believe. Don't quote me on it. Yesterday was a very low-key day. We went to the ocean and things like that, but other than that, we actually, the main day was leading up to going to the Northeastern Fair last night. It was actually really cool. Apparently it was a concert stadium that was abandoned, and they used to have this fair around it until they eventually moved them into the stadium, and it's got live music and clubs inside of it. It's got restaurants inside of it. It's got all types of stores, and it's just a really, really cool. It was something that I'm very happy I actually took the time to go to. It was I'm not gonna say surreal because I keep on saying surreal because everything here is so surreal, but it was unusual. It was like a giant flea market, but 10 times better, if that makes any sense. But it was amazing. I loved it. But today, we actually, it was a day off. It was supposedly supposed to be a day off. But, we walked around. We were gonna be going to the Supermoon tonight, but I went to the hippie fair again and kind of walked around and, you know, looked at stuff. But what was really cool is since I've been here, there's been a lot of protests going on, a lot of, like, downtown Rio, there was actually, like, people getting shot with rubber bullets and pepper sprayed and tear gas and thing. It was pretty crazy. But since I've got here, like, out here in Ipanema, there was a protest the other night that kind of made it to where it was hard for us to go out and do things. But today we were actually on the beach and kind of got wrapped up in the middle of a protest that just, like, kind of happened there, and a ton of people, and it was like, a lot of people think, oh no, protests that are going on in Brazil, they're here. I took video of it. I took like good 5 minutes of it. You only see a little bit of it here, but that protest, there were people dancing and singing and, like, holding up their signs, and they were being very, you know, patriotic, but they were being, you know, everyone's carrying the flag, and it was very peaceful, very peaceful. So it was crazy to be in the middle of all of that and actually be in the middle of a protest that's happening in another country that isn't my own. So that was just amazing. So I got some really good video of it, and I got some cool pictures, but it was really neat to be able to be there and to, you know, cheer them on and whatnot. But that's been my last 2 days. They've been kind of a slow day for, like, you know, getting wrapped up in a protest. But yeah, it was pretty good Saturday and Sunday. I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I'm leaving next Sunday. So I have exactly a week left. 7 more days. So I feel like I've been out of the United States for months. Things here move so differently than in the US that it's just, they're long. It feels like really long days, and I don't know. It's very interesting. And there's things you can do here that you can't do in the US, like walking down the street at 3 o'clock in the afternoon drinking a beer. That just blows my mind. So you couldn't do that in the US. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We are going to a beach town tomorrow, so I'm excited. I love you guys, and see you tomorrow.